this presentation forward. So I'll just share out. First of all, are you guys excited about this presentation, about this program? Are you guys excited? Please, if yes, please type yes in the chat box.
Definitely, sir.
So point is, let's have a very interactive. It's going to be very simple presentation. आप सब लोग investments करते आ रहे हैं. You are investing everywhere across the globe. We have tried and kept the things very simple for you to understand and to do the things in a very right manner. So let me just share out my screen to you. Just give me a minute. Is my screen visible, sir? Can anybody confirm?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. So are you guys excited? Are you guys excited? Come on, I need energy for this presentation. I want
yes
is flowing. Yes is flowing in the chat box. Come on. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Not active actually.
Sorry.
Chat is not.
Yeah, chat is not active.
Okay, let me check. How I think we have started the meeting previously, so chat box can't be activated right now.
Okay. No worries. आप unmute करके participate कर सकते हैं. Not a problem at all. Thank you, sir. So let's begin. So our topic for today that we have chosen is what is the need of an advisor in investments? Do you really feel you need an advisor? Yes. I just want somebody to unmute and answer.
Yes, we do.
Definitely.
You do. What is the rationale behind it? Why an advisor is required in our lives?
Because we are not the master of that, and yes, for each field to excel, you need a master.
Perfect. One answer. Can anybody else take the initiative?
As the social network is flooded with the advisors, we are sometimes misguided with the Ponzi schemes. But being a well-business, I think when someone is getting business, they will definitely not give a bad advice. And for a long run, every advisor used to give a genuine advices to the people. So it is definitely pretty sure for everyone to find the real advisor for them.
Okay, thank you, Amrish. Thank you. During the presentation, we'll see how an advisor can play a role into each and every person's life, right? So let's take it forward. So I would request to keep a pen and a notebook handy so that if you find something knowledgeable or you can note it down to your interest, you can refer it back after the presentation. So I would recommend. And for the next one, Amrish, how much time do we have? 1 hour specifically?
1 hour 30 minutes.
1 hour 30 minutes. Thank you so much for the time. So during this next 1.5 hours, we will have so many things to discuss that my as well as your knowledge will take it to the next level, right? Thank you. So Dr. Sanjay Agarwal, who is our patron, says you are the outcome of your choices. This is applicable to our lives as well as to our investments as well. So how do you people agree with this statement? If yes, please unmute yourself and let's take it yes or no fast. If you can unmute and tell everybody.
Yes, we do agree.
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
Thank you. Yes. Point is, whatever investments you do in your lives, your returns are directly proportional to that investment. If you're taking less risk, your returns will be less. If you're taking higher risk, the probability of your returns going to the next level increases. Are you all comfortable with English or should I use Hindi as well in between?
I guess both is enough.
Both. I think Molly is with us, so Hindi won't be convenient.
Yeah.
So at times I will, what I'll do, I'll explain something. Say my presentation will be mostly in English, but wherever I feel that the things are required to be explained in Hindi, I will use both the languages for the same sentence, right? Will that be okay with you?
Yeah, that will be fine, sir.
Thank you, sir. So today, what we will learn, why do we need a financial advisor? What are your financial goals? What is a financial planning pyramid? What are different types of investment options that we have? A small overview about mutual funds. Which financial investment is best suitable for you? That we will decide. Why asset allocation is important? And what are the advantages of a financial expert? And for the audience which has gathered here in the morning, a special gift for you all. So are you guys excited? Is this enough for today or it is too much? ये बहुत ज्यादा तो नहीं हो गया?
नहीं
इतनी
नहीं
सारी
नहीं
चीजें
नहीं
हम लोग कवर करेंगे. Right. ठीक है जी. Thank you. Let's take it forward. So let me just introduce myself. I'm Sameer Kaila, जैसे अमरीश जी ने बताया. I have over 22 years of experience in the capital markets. The name of my firm is DhanCreators, and we are based out in Delhi. And we are having across 600 investors across the globe. And I had, since my corporate journey, I was working with J&K Bank. Then I had a tenure with Religare Securities, and of late ICICI Securities. Before in 2016, I started off my venture by the name of DhanCreators. So this is all about my corporate journey, and this was when I used to work from an employee to an entrepreneur and an educator. So I love to interact with people. Thanks to internet, we are going, and digital platforms, we are connecting all over. Say Albert sir is joining from Kerala, Savita ma'am is joining from Lucknow. The boundaries are just in the names. We are going limitless and across the globe digitally, thanks to internet. So I have been fortunate to be taken on board by Navbharat Times for addressing in mutual funds and doing various workshops for them. And I have been in the say as a appointed by as a volatility coach, and it's being the Economic Times has been published a book on volatility coaches, where I have contributed to all the volatility coaches. There are 180 volatility coaches across India, and I'm one of them. So these are my credentials, which I have been doing it for almost 6 years of my tenure. So this is one of our investors who was invested into fixed deposits of late, and he was suffering from two things. One, taxation, because he's working with the corporates at the highest tax bracket, तो इनका taxation का slab 30% का था. तो FDs में investment का जो interest आता है वो आपका income के साथ जुड़ जाता है. तो जो भी taxation लगेगा वो आपका highest bracket में लगेगा. Plus FD interest rates are coming down. They are 5.5%. अगर आप उसमें से इन्फ्लेशन माइनस करेंगे तो वो 3-3.25% के आसपास रह जाता है. So it returns plus taxation, both were hitting his returns. So what he has to say, just listen in a minute.
Hi, I am Shujoy Sen. I have known Sameer since 2018. As I was in the retirement phase, he inducted me into the mutual fund ecosystem and mixed a fair sense of caution and aggression which suited my requirements going forward. I must say that uh, his strategy has been serving me well, and I'm especially through the tumultuous times of pandemic and all those situations, eh, the returns have held. He's of a fine character and works with a huge degree of conviction, which is matched by market research and deep study. Wishing Sameer a wonderful journey ahead.
So now I have a question for you all. What are your expectations as an investor? चैट बॉक्स पे मैं नहीं बोल पाऊंगा, देख पाऊंगा, तो आपको यू अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ एंड kindly share your answers with us. What are your expectations as an investor? If you invest some,
First expectation is good return.
fantastic, fantastic, sir. Very good. Next. Come
The
on, I
best-
need full more participation. 22 participants are there.
So best of the investment options to be known to us, because that, as we are not from that background, we have no idea about what's the best investment option we get to know.
Priyanka, the question is something different. As an investor, what is your ideal investment? What is your ideal expectation? क्या आपका ideal expectation क्या है? वो मैं जानना
Yeah,
चाहता
to be invested in, best of the options available.
हूँ. Best of the options जो सबसे ज्यादा return दे, right?
Yes, right.
My investment should be safe.
Very good, sir. Fantastic, fantastic.
So safe
Any-
investment, higher return, and recurring return.
Safe return, higher return, and recurring return. Fantastic, sir. Anything else which comes into your mind?
Tax free.
Tax free होना चाहिए. Fantastic, संजय जी. बहुत बढ़िया.
कैपिटल सेफ होना चाहिए.
Fantastic. बहुत बड़ी secured होना चाहिए, right? और एक और important चीज है जो थोड़ा सा दिमाग दौड़ाइए. और भी कुछ चीजें हैं एक दो.
Growth ratio.
Growth
My
ratio.
investment should be guaranteed.
Perfect. Perfect. ठीक है.
And the return should beat the inflation rate.
तो हायर रिटर्न्स हो गए ना सर. हायर रिटर्न, मैक्स बेस्ट रिटर्न्स हो गए जो भी किसी भी एसेट क्लास के अंदर है. कुछ और है या आगे चलें? लेट अस सी. हाँ जी प्लीज सर.
Less effort, more gain.
perfect. Very nice, sir. Very nice. So let's take it this. तो पहले हायर रिटर्न्स जैसे सबने बोला, राइट? सबसे अच्छे रिटर्न्स होने चाहिए. टैक्स फ्री रिटर्न्स होने चाहिए जैसे डॉक्टर साहब ने बोला, राइट? लो रिस्क होना चाहिए जैसे सर आपने बोला. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है. इजी लिक्विडिटी, पैसा मेरे को जब चाहिए मेरे को मिल जाए, राइट? ठीक है. सिक्योर्ड होना चाहिए, ठीक है. और सर्विस जब मेरे को चाहिए तब मेरे को मिल जाना चाहिए. सर कैन यू इमेजिन इज देयर एनी इन्वेस्टमेंट जो ये सारी चीजें कवर करता है? Does anything come into your mind?
नहीं, बहुत सारे इन्वेस्टमेंट्स हैं जिनमें ये 6 तो नहीं है. किसी में 4 हैं, किसी में 3 है, किसी में 2 है, something like that. But all 6 in one I don't see.
परफेक्ट सर, बिल्कुल सही आपने जवाब दिया. ये 6 की 6 चीजें हर जगह नहीं मिलेंगी. कहीं आपको हाई रिटर्न्स मिलेंगे तो रिस्क भी आपको एडिशनल लेना पड़ेगा, राइट? टैक्स फ्री रिटर्न्स अगर हैं तो वहां पे रिटर्न कम हो जाते हैं. लिक्विडिटी जहां है वहां पे हो सकता है कि आपको लिक्विडिटी नहीं है बट रिटर्न हाई है, जैसे रियल एस्टेट हो गया फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हम बात करें. तो सब में कॉम्बिनेशन एज यू राइटली सेड कि 3-4 हर जगह होंगे, पूरे के पूरे 6 एक जगह नहीं. तो हु विल हेल्प यू इन गाइडिंग यू एंड taking you through these steps? A financial advisor. Coming on, this is a very important pyramid जहां पर कि हम 3 लेयर्स की बात करें. पहली हो जाती है प्रोटेक्शन. सिंस आप सब लोग वेरियस ट्रेड से जुड़े हुए हैं, you're working from you're in various professions across the globe, so it applies to each and every person at its different stages. So for example, if I'm a young person and I'm married till the age of 40-45, right? So protecting my family goals is the key out here. So how should I protect it? By taking insurance so that my family objectives and needs are achieved. right? Then when I move forward, I set up a goals for myself. Say I've purchased a car or home, or for my children's studies, do my risk profiling, asset allocation, portfolio rebalancing. I set up. So I have taken the protection, then I'm building my corpus, building my goals and achieving my goals. The third and most important part comes is distribution, where whatever I have earned, I'm away from the responsibilities. I have taken the steps for my retirement. Now I'm enjoying that phase and distributing to my next generation. These three steps are complete financial planning pyramid, which everybody follows during the specific period of time. This is a cycle which everybody goes through. And who helps him? A financial advisor. Why do you need a financial advisor? When there is a change in your life. That means if I'm a bachelor, I'm getting married, either my salaries, both of the spouses are working, we have surplus money, we need to invest for our goals, we need to plan it out. Who helps them? A financial advisor. Sir, अमरीश जी unmute कर देंगे क्या? कुछ disturbance आ रही है. Sorry. So, second part, if I come across so many people in our to us, ki, sir, I'm earning well, right? But I'm not able to save. I'm not able to save for my financial goals. Then a financial advisor comes into action. Suppose you have received a big order, you have received big amount of inflow you have. What to do? How many of you have seen Kaun Banega Crorepati? Here I should ask a question. How many of you have seen KBC? Dr. Saab ne dekha hai. Sabne dekha hai?
Almost.
Right. Almost.
Yes, yes.
Do you know
Yes.
those people who have won KBC, 90% of them have gone bankrupt in 2 years. Why? Just because they could not manage their money well. They didn't consulted a financial advisor to how to invest their money. So that is one of the reasons behind it. Fourth point, your investments are managed, but you're not sure about your insurance, taxes, and retirement distribution. Acha, here I want to ask one simple question to you all. How many of you are invested in FDs? Fixed deposit में किसने investment किया हुआ? Be open. It's an interactive session. I would recommend everybody to participate. Amresh ji, I need your support on that. If you can.
Yeah, sorry कि मैंने ना chat deactivate.
Sir, unmute कर दीजिए. सबको right दे दीजिए unmute का. Let us participate.
Yeah, everyone is having the right of unmuting. They can unmute themselves.
Okay.
FD में invest नहीं किया.
FD में नहीं किया.
मैंने छोटा FD किया हुआ है सर.
सर मेरा है.
ओके, चलिए ऐसे हाथ खड़ा कर सकते हैं सब लोग अगर अपने आप को if everybody can say open their cameras and put their hands up या virtual hands up कर दीजिए.
Yeah, that will be fine.
ठीक है. So everybody, most of us have invested in FDs and various other instruments, right? But do we know that what implication it has on taxes? Are the returns of FDs or various other traditional instruments applicable to taxes? What tax implications it has? Is it additional to my income also?
नहीं
Okay.
सर.
No.
है ना? So होता क्या है कि आपकी जो इनकम है वो जो भी उसमें एफडी का इंटरेस्ट छोड़ेगा वो आपकी इनकम के साथ क्लब हो जाता है. तो वो मैनेज करने के लिए कौन आएगा? फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर आएगा. तो आपको हेल्प करता है कि आप एटलीस्ट वो टैक्सेस बचा पाए. राइट नाउ इफ अ पर्सन इज 40 and he wants to take an early retirement at say 45 or 40 or 50, right? Or planning for some venture, who is going to help them plan that particular how to accumulate that amount? A financial advisor. And last and the most important thing, estate planning, which we are going to talk somewhat in the later part of the presentation, okay, how estate planning can help you distribute your wealth in a very, very fantastic manner. Latest example is Rahul Bajaj sir. What he did was in say last year, he distributed all his companies and he took retirement. And look what what happened, say 8 to 10 months down the line. He's not here with us. So that is what a distribution of wealth is also required. So this is what, kindly, please tell me that does this thing applies to your life or not? Do you spend before you save? Or this is, to me, this is one of the biggest blunders that normally people do. Agar aaj meri income, if my income is 1 lakh rupees, I spend 90,000 and then 10,000 rupees I save and I invest. Whereas the simple and the best remedy is, first of all, my income is 1 lakh rupees. I should take out 25,000 rupees, and then whatever it is remaining, it should be spent. This thing is the first thing, income minus spending, is nowadays in the current generation is facing from this problem, this blunder. Earlier, in say our father's age or say seniors, what they used to teach us, beta pehle bachao fir kharcho. First save, then spend. How many of us are in 1 and 2? आप 1 और 2 पे बोल दीजिए. आप 1 में आते हैं कि 2 पे आते हैं?
Sir, 2.
2 पे आते हैं. Genuinely बोल रहे हैं. 1
Sir,
में कौन
genuinely.
आता है?
सर जेन्युइनली
genuine.
1 में ही है, लेकिन आपका जो ये 2 वाला सजेशन है वो एक्चुअल में है.
वो एक्चुअल में है ना. Molly ma'am, what about you? You are into 1 or 2?
2. I don't usually spend, so don't have anywhere to go. You can't spend.
Okay, great. Let's take it forward. So what are different kind of financial goals? How we bifurcate financial goals? Can anybody take the initiative and tell how many financial goals? How we bifurcate financial goals? Molly ma'am, if you can take the initiative.
It's very important to have a financial goal, even if you don't think you need one. It is something that you have to create one for yourself. For example, when you have an accident, when you are sick, when you something that you can't help, it's something as either a disaster like we had with the COVID. So financial goal is very important, and the more you save, the more secure you will have, and you will not have to worry about it.
Fantastic. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you. So we have bifurcated financial goals into 3 parts. Short term, which includes, as Molly ma'am rightly said, contingency funds, medical expenses. So the COVID has taught this lesson very bluntly to all and every single individual on this planet. That boss, if you are having, you should have a contingency fund of at least 1 to 2 years in the liquid form, so that you can encash it and in any kind of crisis you can use that fund. Medical expenses. We see that medical expenses are hitting the roof during this COVID time as well. So I will share just one simple example, a narration, a story, which one of my dearest friend went through during this last 1.5 months ago. His mother was admitted to a hospital in ICU, and he had to pay almost 1 lakh rupees per day in the ICU. Unfortunately, his mother was not able to survive, and she was in the ICU for 15 days. So 15 lakh rupees was the bill that the hospital has charged that person. Just imagine emotional loss and financial loss if person is not having medical insurance, or say a kitty which takes care of medical expenses. Right? Vacations and routine life, as you said. Second, we come to medium term goals, which is 3 to 7 years. So if you want to purchase a car, you want to have a vacations abroad, you want to buy a house. And the long-term goals consists of greater than 7 years for child education. If you want to get your accumulating fund for your child marriage, retirement planning, financial freedom, or you're looking to start your venture 5 years, 7 years, 10 years down the line. If you have a dream project, you can actually accumulate. Or if you want to purchase a property abroad, the Molly ma'am can help us in doing that. So you can actually build a corpus and have a dream house, say, or a vacation home abroad as well. So these are the three broader goals that we work for. And let me tell you, everybody should plan it out this way. So now just we take a pause for 2 minutes, and I would recommend everybody to take out their notebook and pen and write down their short, medium, and long-term goals. Please note it down. Keep it with yourself. I will not ask anybody to share, but keep it with you. But do this exercise for next 2 minutes. Are we done?
Yes, I am done.
Great, great, great. Let's move forward. So who takes away your money? Inflation and taxes, right? What's the current inflation out here in India as of now? Anybody? What's the current inflation rate?
Around 6%.
Perfect. And if Amriji, chat is active or not now?
Chat is not active. Actually, we can't do anything.
You can't do it? Okay. No worries. So what is the average tax slab that the audience out here is in? 10%, 20%, or 30%? If one person can mute and unmute and say
30%.
30%. Okay. And a few more participants if can share 10, 20, 30. Or nil bhi chalega. Will also do.
10% right now.
10% right now. Okay.
20%.
20%.
20%.
Perfect. So what is if we are earning 100 rupees, right? So inflation is taking X amount and tax is taking Y amount. So we are left with amount lesser that we earn. Correct? So at least we have to invest. We have to keep that money, invest that money into those instruments which give us the best possible returns. Only then we can do justice with our investments and beat these two things to the maximum. So what are the different types of investment options we have? But before going ahead, do you know what is rule of 72? Rule of 72 is a very common rule. How many of people you know out here? Which all people out here know about rule of 72? Anybody? Hanji, please, sir, please.
Rule of 72, as I know, is a thumb rule for calculating how many years will be required to double your investment. It is if you are investing at the rate of 8%, that means if you divide 72 by 8, your money will be doubled in 9 years.
In 9 years. Perfect, sir. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks for you. आपके favor से आपका dialogue है ना? It's for public or for all the audience, benefit of all the audience. So you have done that. So rule of 72, as Dr. Saab has said, if I take a small narration out here. So let's say if the investment is of 10,000 rupees and the post tax is 4.5. So rule of 72 says if 4.72 divided by 4.5, your investment doubles in 16 years in FT. Your investment doubles in 16 years. Whereas, as he rightly said, that inflation is at 6%, your inflation is doubling in 12 years. So most of our investments, we don't know, subconsciously we don't know, but point is that just to preserve our capital, we are investing into degrowing asset classes. We are degrowing our money. So what are different savings and investment options we have? क्या होते हैं? What all investment options we have? Can somebody unmute and tell what all investment options we have?
I think, sir, assets, mutual funds, and insurance. So these are the things.
Okay. Few more holding shares. Perfect. More.
Property.
Sorry.
Asset.
Yeah.
Asset, property.
Property. Perfect. Perfect. More options. We have so many options out here.
Complete
debentures. And one of the, say after this Russia and Ukraine, one of the asset classes has moved up quite sharply of late.
Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency, okay. Great. And gold we are missing out.
Oil and natural gas.
Oil is, we cannot say it's an investment because an ordinary person cannot invest out there. So savings account, bank deposits, PF, PPF. This is with regard context to India, Molly ma'am. So we are doing that way. Life insurance, stocks, bonds, real estate, mutual funds, gold. Have I missed out? But yeah, cryptocurrency I have missed out, which is a newer into the investments of people are investing out there. Have I missed out anything else? Apart from this?
I don't think so. You should include in networking.
That is also an investment. Yeah, perfect.
Equity funding can also be looked upon for, no?
Which one?
Equity funding.
equity funding हो गया, एक P2P lending भी आ गया है. One P2P lending is also there, just started. So the basket is increasing as far as investment options are concerned. Okay. So these are the broader returns that and the lock-in period and the risk that usually we have. We take the calls. We invest into these kind of instruments. As an Indian, we invest into these kind of investments. So EPF 8 to 8.5, PPF is 7.1, FDs 4.9 to 6.8, and post office and SCs also. Senior citizen scheme 7.4, life insurance policies 4.5 to 6%, equity mutual funds. Historically, it has been 15%. Real estate, market link. Some sectors will be doing good, some sectors will be laggard. Market link, plus it's a liquid. Gold is market link. So lock-in period we have put up. So the point is, as we started off, so what all we don't get all the things in one investment. Liquidity, assurance, secured. Somewhere or the other, we need to compromise either on the risk or on the return. Right. So a brief snapshot about what are the mutual funds. Mutual funds, whereas the investors pool in their money, they give it to the fund manager. Then they invest into securities, which generate securities or bonds, which generate the returns, and the returns are thus passed back to the investors. So this is how the mutual fund framework takes place. Right? Are mutual funds risky? How many of us feel so? If yes, please type. Yeah, type to nahi kar sakte. You can unmute.
Yes, sir,
and
it is risky.
Yes.
it is risky. Risky.
Yes.
Sir.
Electronic hand. You can raise your electronic
Yes,
hand.
it is.
So for me,
Okay.
it is not risky. If you have good knowledge, it is wonderful investment.
Great. What is this?
Jhula.
No.
Mutual fund. That's a mutual fund.
This is mutual fund. This is equities. As this is volatility in equities. This is a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
How many of you have actually experienced a roller coaster?
I have experienced.
You have experience. So how was the experience? Can you share your experience in a roller coaster?
Your
Oh my
heart
God.
will pull out.
Yeah. Sometimes you feel, yeah, it's good. Sometimes you feel that your heart is coming out.
Okay. So when it goes up, it's really good, na? And
Yes,
when it
you
comes
feel
down,
better.
your heart sinks.
Yes. The same feeling is with mutual fund.
The same feeling is with mutual fund and equities. This is what we see. Oh, there's a bloodbath. The markets have gone down. So much capital has been eroded, right? And the next day you see, yes, the markets are back roaring. We are enjoying it. Returns are being made. What is this? This is the index. This is Indian index for last 25 years, right? This is 2008 dip out here. This is 2020 dip out here. But what has been the broader thing? The returns have been fantabulous. Look where the Sensex was in 98, 2,500. Look at where it is, 56,000, 57,000. So equities is volatile, it's risky in the short term, but it's the best wealth creator over the long term. Whichever asset class you look at it, where there is a risk, there is a fantabulous returns. Whether it's a real estate, whether it's equities, whether it's mutual funds you take at it, whether it's gold you take at it. Only thing you, as an investor, we need is patience and the right asset allocation, which we will be covering. Small example again. Suppose you want, what will be the returns if you invest into FD as well as into equity mutual fund today for next 10 years? Current FD rate is for a 10-year SBI, which is a government bank, SBI. Current 10-year FD rate is 5.5%. Here we haven't taken inflation. Here we haven't taken tax. It's a pure vanilla investment which we have taken. And we have shown the returns that what will be the value of 1 lakh rupees after 10 years. It will be 1,72,000, which you will be getting back if you do have 10-year FD today. And what is the probability of getting the return in equity mutual funds? We have taken historically, it has been 15%. We have taken a conservative 12% out here. So return, the amount which we will get back if you invest 1 lakh rupees will be 3,25,000, over excess to 3,25,000. So how many of us are ready to generate wealth over a long term? I am there. Who all are with me?
And
Who all are? Okay, great. What is an asset allocation? What is asset allocation? Anybody can volunteer. Is it interesting? Is it interesting? Is it value adding value to your kitty?
Yes.
definitely, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. So what is asset allocation? Why do we need to do asset allocation?
See, as
Diversification.
a professional, I believe that assets is your work. So if you make your assets, you can just say that it's your future investment. So if you are getting any deal and if you are having the investment, you can, if you're having the good assets, you can make a wonderful saving and it will be a secure deal for you. You don't have to be dependent on anyone. So that's the things we have to allocate the assets and we have to fix the budget that which assets is important for us and which we can take from the market or which we can borrow, where we have to invest, where we don't have to invest.
That is one, sir. That is one. But my question is, okay, I reframe my question. What I say, out of 100 rupees we have invested, what is there any asset wherein you are skewed more than 50%? You have investments more than 50% in one asset class.
Property.
Is it there? Is it there in your portfolio? Say 100 rupees, if you have invested. So is there any asset class wherein you have invested more than 50%?
Yeah, that's
it's property you are saying.
Yeah.
That's property you are saying. Okay. But here one thing I want to share, Priyanka, if you're staying, don't count that as an investment. The property where you are staying, don't count it as an investment. Other than the place where you're residing, the investments we have done, is there skewness of more than 50% in one asset? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yes,
okay.
I have.
Yes, that's
Property.
property. Yeah.
Property?
Yes.
Okay. Now, so my next question. When you made that investment?
10 years back.
Me too. Same.
And stuck up, right? We're not able to liquidate that thing, or neither we are able to generate the returns out of it, right? This is what it is.
Sir, I can see Gagan Kohli sir has raised his hand and Sarvanand sir was willing to ask something.
Please. Anything?
Continue. We will talk at the end.
Okay, sir. Okay, fine. Point is, we have certain skewedness towards one asset class. As for last 10 years, as both of them have said, that real estate has not delivered any returns and they're stuck up in that particular investment. Point is, when equities has delivered over a period of, let's say, last 5 years or 7 years, they have missed the bus by investing into real estate. Got it? Now, if I say gold has rallied. There are investors who were saying that gold is not worth investing. But look what gold has delivered in last, say, 15 odd days. 15 odd to say a month's time. Fantastic returns. Right? So point is, we should invest. We should try to invest, because real estate is a high ticket size. I can very well understand that 50% of the skewedness will be there of the investments. will be there, but still you should invest at least some portion to all the asset classes, either into fixed deposits or into equities or into real estate or into gold, so that your balancing act continues over a period of time. You should you either one or the other asset class give you some returns out of it. You don't feel like left out. Right. Yeah, Savita, you have a question? If you have raised a hand. Hello. Should I?
Savita ma'am, do you have any question? You have raised your hand.
अनम्यूट नहीं किया होगा.
Just a minute.
So shall I move forward?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what does this slide show? This slide show that if we have a low risk investment, it will deliver a low return. The ride will be smooth, absolutely smooth ride. But the returns will be also on the lower side. Whereas if we take the high risk investment, just like say real estate, if you say the risk is high, the return unfortunately has not been high for the last 10 years, but in equities, if I talk about, the risk is high and the probability of the return is also high. And if you take a combination of both, say if you take medium risk, your return probability of touching double digits go higher. This is what is thing that low rewards, equity, high returns, but in the medium, if you take asset allocation path, you are able to reach your goals in a balanced manner. So who are these two gentlemen? कौन है साहब?
डॉक्टर साहब हैं.
डॉक्टर साहब हैं. ठीक है सर, हम कब जाते हैं डॉक्टर साहब के पास?
India
when do we go to?
Sir, in India, when situation is out of our control.
Else we take self medication, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
yes.
ठीक है. So if the fever is not that high, 98, 99, 99, 100 degrees Celsius, so we take self medication and we find, right? If there is a pain in the stomach and it's not going for 2-3 days, then we go to the doctor, right? But initially we try to self medicate ourselves. Then who is this gentleman? Who is this gentleman? Teacher or professor.
Yeah.
Right. And we send our children, or we get educated. We get educated from the best of the best. Right. Why? We go to a doctor for our medical thing, and for the education, we go to the best teacher or the professor in the university. But why not a financial advisor? Why do we hesitate in sharing our financials with a financial advisor? Why do we try to do all our investments on our own with our limited knowledge? Whatever things I have shared with you till now, right? You know most of the things, but I still come to the first question. Are all the things, including service, can you do? Just ask yourself. What is the advantage of having a financial expert by your side? You get an expert advice on all the investments as per your requirement. because he customizes the entire thing for you as per your needs, right? You are busy in your work, 24/7 into your work. You keep on doing that. But the person who is financial expert, leave your financial assets to him. He will rebalance, he will restructure, he will take you to your financial goals. Just tell him, well, these are my financial goals, I want to achieve that. He will create a roadmap depending on your investments which you have, or the potential or the probability where all the investments you can do. He can create a roadmap for you. Proper asset allocation. I'll share a simple story, one small story with you out here. I have a client, right? 3 years back, he started investments into mutual funds. I bet him with the reference of another client. He was investing into high risk. He had invested into high risk mutual funds, small caps and all, right? But 2018 to 2019, it was a turbulent time, as you know, for small and mid cap funds. The markets were down. We guided him through. We restructured his portfolio. He gained confidence and he made returns out of it. Just few days back, I was just having a discussion with him that what's going on the investment front. I came to know he has taken money from FDs and put all his money into stock market. Put all his money into stock market. It was close to 30 to 35 lakhs, and the markets have come down. I was just telling him, brother, what have you done? You have taken the emergency fund out of your kitty and put it into the stock market. Why is it so? Point is, we have to do proper asset allocation. And for that, to keep a person on track, you need a financial advisor. What I said to him, tomorrow, if you need certain funds, what will you do? You will have to sell your stocks in loss and take the money out. If you do proper asset allocation, you will sail through all the turbulent times smoothly. As a financial advisor, we keep a track of your investments. Periodical tracking and the rebalancing is also we do. Right? So, what's the role of a financial advisor? It helps you in creating a financial roadmap. He does the right allocation among asset classes as per your age and risk appetite. Very important. If you're a low risk person, the investments will be into that frame only. He will not offer you high risk investments. And he will tone down your the targets also. Or your investments will be increased to achieve your goals through the low risk investments. Help you in protecting financial assets or financial goals. How can you protect your financial assets or financial goals? Have you ever thought of that? Just give it. Have you ever thought of that? How you can protect your financial assets and financial goals? If you have a kid and so something happens to a person, are you adequately insured so that their financial futures is taken care of? We have just gone through, I don't know whether the pandemic is over or not, but we have gone through a turbulent time in the last 2 years, right? So many people who hadn't had health insurances, just a small narration I shared you back, have gone through the medical expenses have gone through the roof. Have you taken medical insurance? Adequate medical insurance? So these are the questions you have to ask yourself to protect your financial assets. Keep a track of your financial investments and review it from time to time. 6 months or a year is the best time to review your financial investments. We do rebalancing periodically of our investors. We speak to them, we discuss about their financial goals, we keep on review of their investments. Whichever investments are not doing good, we take the money out and reinvest into some other investments. Rebalance the investment, hand holding the investment during volatile times. Okay, here I ask you some important question. How many of you are invested into mutual funds or equities?
I have.
Anybody else? Sanjay ji, Albert ji, Ashwini ji. Okay. Anybody else? Ankita ji. Fine. Very good. Thank you. Okay. I put a very, very blunt question to everybody. Last 10 days, what happened to the stock market? Have you shared your the losses or the profits with somebody?
Yeah, everything has gone in big loss. Even
Have you
mutual-
shared with anybody? Have you shared with anybody?
No.
Himmat nahi hoti na. We don't have the courage to share with anybody. Who is the person who can share a financial advisor? Sir, we handhold our investors in these turbulent times. Whom you can go into talk to? Neither your I'm down 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees. Your spouse will say, who suggested you to invest into that? It's very simple. It's on that, right? Point is, sir, you need a person to speak to. Why it is happening? There has to be a rationale. Who a person can say some few soothing words to you to help you sail through this turbulent time. And who is going to be a financial advisor? Right? Keeps you on track with your financial goals. Despite the turbulence, despite everything, this is a passing wave. It will go. Stay invested or add more. Who can guide you? Who will guide you? A financial advisor. There are so many examples that the people who are invested on their own have done, the blunders they have done. They have exited at the bottom and bought at the top. That's what happened in real estate in 2020, 2012. You entered at the top and now the road is turbulent. It's illiquid asset, so you are not able to move out. In equities, what happened? There's so many people who moved out at pandemic. Bottom, rock bottom. Or if the shares will go to zero levels or what? See how the markets have rolled back. And they will do post this turbulence also. Whatever the things are taking place in Russia or Ukraine. So these are the opportunities. Who will tell you these are the opportunities? A financial advisor. Who will rebalance? The markets are at peak. Who will say not to invest now? A financial advisor. Who will put a brake on your spending? A financial advisor. So helps you in investing into tax efficient or tax-free instruments wherein the returns are optimized vis-a-vis inflation. Just as I showed in the slides prior to it, previous to it, that what are the returns that we are getting from all the financial instruments? Inflation is at 6%. Is FD a good investing tool for you? You have to judge yourself. Is insurance a good investment tool, or is it protection tool or an investment tool? You have to judge yourself. Right? Keeps a check on investor spending. Helps to create tax efficient, tax-free cash flows. Very important point. Very important point. At times, people are stuck up into such things, such instruments that whenever they need funds, they're not able to get it just because they're illiquid or they're stuck up into such a long products that they're not able to liquidate that. So a financial advisor can help you plan your cash flows. It helps in creating strategy and an estate planning. Now, I would do a small exercise with you all. Small exercise. Please don't. So it's going to be a very. I'm going to ask a very abrupt question. Question is: please write your date of birth. Please write your date of birth in the notepad. Everybody has written. Everybody has written, right? Now, please write your date of death. Nobody knows. It can be today, it can be 10 years, it can be 20 years down the line. What is the good time to write a will? It's today. It's today. Because we know our date of birth. We don't know our date of death. So whatever we think that we should write, we will write this thing 5 years, 10 years. We are young. What is going to happen to us? Don't delay it. The sooner, the better. We, as a financial advisor, we advise our investors to write their will frequently, every year if possible. You can write it in a plain paper. There is no specific format for it. Whichever is the last, say, dated the will, that will be well. But please take it down. We can have a separate session for that. Also. It's a huge topic, but point is, what I want to communicate is that inheritance and distribution of the asset is as equally important as creating this. Right? Just so who is going to help you out in this? A financial advisor. So here is another. He's one of my big clients. So what he has to say.
My name is Bimal.
Just a background. Just a background about him. He's a businessman, right? His daughter was supposed to get married during pandemic. He's a big real estate investor. So business was down. Real estate investments were illiquid at that particular moment. So what we did for him, just listen to him.
Khurana. I have invested some money in the SIPs with the DhanCreators, and I had a marriage of my daughter in 2020, and then I redeemed all these mutual funds, and which was sold at very higher rate, and I was able to do my marriage of my daughter and very lavishly, and earned a lot of money in this. I thanks to Sameer and DhanCreators for guiding me and solving my problem. Thank you.
What he said, solving my problem. So who came to the rescue? A financial advisor. So this is what we have to offer for our investors. We provide child education and marriage solutions, regular and guaranteed incomes products, retirement solutions, stockbroking we do, mutual fund investments we offer, fixed deposits we offer to our investors, corporate fixed deposits, insurance services, bonds, gold and international equity investments, tax advisory. That's our product basket. And you can reach us at these are my numbers. If you want to note it down, you can note it, and I'll share it in the chat box also. And our website is DhanCreators.com. You can follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And this is it. And Sanjay sir, if you can unmute and please take this forward. Your favorite line.
This my quote you are using. Wow. So friends, this is my favorite. If today you do what is required to be done, whether you like it or not, underline emphasis added, whether you like it or not, the day will come when you will have all the time and resources to do whatever you want to do and whenever you like to do. But if today you don't do what is required to be done, tomorrow you will be compelled to do what life throws upon you. And as Sameer said in between, choice is yours. Because you are the outcome of your choices. Again, because this is my favorite quote. So again, for the benefit of Hindi people, अगर आज आप वो करेंगे जो करना जरूरी है, भले आपको वो पसंद हो या ना हो, तो कल आपके पास वो सब करने के लिए समय और पैसा होगा जो आप करना चाहते हैं, जिस वक्त करना चाहते हैं। लेकिन अगर आज आप वो नहीं करेंगे जो करना जरूरी है, तो कल आपको वो करना पड़ेगा जो जिंदगी आपसे कराएगी। चॉइस आपकी है। Thank you, Samir. Over to you, Samir.
Thank you, sir. Thank
I
you.
enjoy that. You are using my code.
Okay, so I'll just stop here and let us do some. मैं आपको भी कुछ surprise भी लेकर आया हूँ, which I'll share it some 2 minutes के बाद, after 2 minutes. So I would recommend if anybody has certain questions, they can. The presentation is over. If you can ask certain questions, Amresh, if you can ask them to ask.
Sir, I will ask the first question. So my first question is, who are the people who are looking for apart from the IFBIC family? Because we are already with you, and one by one we will have a personal meeting with IFBIC member for you, so that
Thank you, sir.
so that you can add value to their life and they can add value to your life. But apart from that, who are the people who could be a good connections for you and what you are looking from them?
See,
sorry for the interruption, sir. As I remember the last time we had a discussion that NRI could be a good connect for you. So
absolutely,
in that mean, I would request every member of IFBIC to connect most of the NRI with you so that they can have a proper guidelines for their investment. And Molly can definitely help in that. We have Dipti ma'am here. Even Divakar sir is with us. Albert is having good connections with the NRIs. Manish Agrawal sir, who is the vice president of SO Chamber, he is having, even Sanjay sir is having good connections. Allocation is having good connections. So I request you all to kindly connect, kindly get connected with your friends, kindly spread this message, kindly spread this video so that we can add value to our IFBIC member. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And not only it's yeah.
समीर जी, मैं आपके साथ जुड़ना चाहूंगी जल्दी जी।
Thank you, ma'am.
इन्वेस्टमेंट।
थैंक यू, हाँ वही मैं बोलने जा रहा था। अमरेश जी ने एनआरआईज के बारे में बोल दिया। मैंने कहा यहाँ पे जो ऑडियंस है, अगर वो भी मेरे से टच बेस करना चाहते हैं तो अभी पहले तो मैं आपसे एक फीडबैक का फॉर्म का लिंक मैंने डाला है। इसमें आप लोगों के लिए एक सरप्राइज गिफ्ट है। अब इसको भरेंगे तो आपके पास एक लिंक का एक मेल आएगी जिसमें एक फॉर्मेट है। फॉर्मेट वो पूरा आप इन्वेस्टमेंट्स अपने एक कोलेट कर सकते हैं एक शीट के अंदर।
मैं आपसे 1-to-1 बात करना चाहूंगी।
हाँ जी, मैं लिंक दे रहा हूँ, मैं लिंक दे रहा हूँ आपको, उसका भी लिंक दे रहा हूँ। ये दोनों गिफ्ट्स हैं आप सबके लिए मेरी तरफ से। एक तो ये फीडबैक फॉर्म और वो जो कोलेट है, और एक ये मैंने आपको 30 मिनट का अपना कैलेंडर का लिंक दे दिया। आप इस पे जाके अपना रिक्विजिट टाइम के हिसाब से आप बुक कर लीजिए। वी कैन हैव 1-to-1 मीटिंग ऑन Zoom फॉर 30 मिनट्स। दैट्स एंटायरली। हाँ जी,
वीरेंद्र मोहन सर का मैसेज है, ग्रेट सेशन।
Thank you, Virender ji. Thank you so much, sir.
Samir, if I am audible here, amazing session, great piece of information. We'll connect and take it forward from there. Thank you so much.
Divakar ji. Thank you, Divakar ji, for attending the session and gracing the occasion. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
ये जो सेशन रहा है, मेरे ख्याल से अभी तक का अमरीश जी हमारे जितने भी सेशंस रहे हैं उसमें ये सबसे बेस्ट है, मेरा ऐसा मानना है। थैंक यू सो मच समीर जी।
So nice of you, ma'am. Thanks.
वो चीज बताया है जो हम लोग सोचते तो थे मगर इतना सीरियसली उस पर नहीं काम कर पाते थे, बट अब लगता है कि उस पर करना चाहिए। थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू मैम फॉर योर काइंड।
समीर सर, यहाँ के लोगों को मैंने इसलिए इंक्लूड नहीं किया था कि दे आर ऑलरेडी इंक्लूडेड। इनसे ना हम आपसे रेगुलर बात कराते रहेंगे, लेकिन जो एक्सटर्नल लोगों की हमने बात की थी ना, दे हैव टू बी इंक्लूडेड। उन्हें हमें आपसे इंट्रोड्यूस कराना होगा। ये लोग इंट्रोड्यूस करा चुके हैं, मैं 1-to-1 सभी से आपको इंट्रोड्यूस करा दूंगा और सभी के नंबर आपको शेयर कर दूंगा सर, सो दैट यू कैन गेट कनेक्टेड विद ईच अदर।
थैंक यू अमरीश जी, थैंक्स अ लॉट। थैंक यू सर। मैंने अपना नंबर शेयर कर दिया चैट में, तो इफ एनीबॉडी वांट्स टू गेट कनेक्टेड टू मी ऑन फोन तो आप कभी भी कॉल कर सकते हैं। So I am done for the session. So Amresh ji and Sanjay sir, if you want to add something to it, so please you can.
So I would like to request if anyone is having any sort of question, they can unmute themselves and they can ask the question.
So I would like to especially have a feedback from Molly ma'am, because she has joined all the way from US. So Molly ma'am, your feedback is important to us.
What is the largest allocation of asset that you're dealing with your present client?
Ma'am, there are various kinds. It depends upon client to client. It depends upon client to client, what is his or her financial requirements. Based on that, we design the entire portfolio, and we help them to rebalance over a period of a year or so. We have do regular interactions with them, and based on that, we when an asset has moved up too fast, we cut that allocation from that asset and move to the other one which hasn't delivered, so that when the rally comes on the other one, we take the benefit of that. So that kind of rebalancing we do.
Do you consider silver as an investment option?
It is. It is, yeah.
Okay. So in the form of bar or how?
If you want to keep it, you can. But point is, now digitally you can procure through say mutual funds as well. Just if you can, just like gold bees you have for say gold units, you can procure it through gold. There are certain gold funds which have the silver funds that have been recently launched. So you can have it in the form of digitally also.
So is it advisable to go ahead with a physical form or digital?
Digital, I would recommend.
But don't you think, because personally, what I feel sometimes when it is digitally, because quite a few funds, should be like, not tempting when you need money in times when you are in requirement of fund, you sell off those things, right? But when it is in the form of physical, you don't tend to sell those things. So what do you suggest in that case?
It's the same way. What I would recommend is, suppose today the amount is X, right? And you say when you need it, it is say 1.5x times. So whatever the correlation, the underlying, if it has increased, these units will, the price of the units will also increase. Huh? So instead of keeping the physical thing, you move into digital thing. So digital, it is easy to dispose of once you go and dispose that physical one. You know what kind of say penalty or charges you have to pay. If I talk about gold, 25% की काट कटती है, 20%, 25% if you कोई ornament change कराने जाते हो, right? Whereas if you have units, you have nothing to pay. Whatever the rate, what is the rate of that particular unit at that particular moment of time is, you get equal say return out of it. So there is hardly any problem with it. Even you save more if you invest digitally. That's my personal experience, which I'm sharing out here.
Thank you.
Move to digital assets. Move to digital assets instead of holding them physically. Now the REITs are also there, Molly ma'am, right? REITs are a big market out there in the US and across the globe. Now in India, it has also started. We are late in doing that, but it's delivering decent returns out there. 6 to 9% on the REITs is it's what we are going to get going ahead. Despite the pandemic that has hit commercial market quite a bit in across the globe.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I would like to add something.
Yeah, ma'am, please.
Usually when my client buys overseas, the first thing I ask him to do is go have an estate planning done. Once you especially have properties and asset overseas, your consequences of losing that, more than 60% of it is amazing and it's very scary, but people do not understand that when they buy properties anywhere in the world. So they must have that life insurance. They must have that family planning to make sure that everything is all secured. Otherwise, they will lose it.
So that's what we were talking about.
Well said, Molly.
Yeah, Sunny Sharma, sir, yes. Sir, can you just on your video?
Amrish, I'm looking disastrous right now. It's a Sunday afternoon. So, hi, Molly. Good to see you. And what a session, man, Amrish. And what a beautiful gentleman this, Samir is there. So, entrepreneurs are very good in terms of their learning ability. They make sure their Sunday is good. And this is what I call a great Sunday. So thank you very much, Amrish and Samir, for
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
this. It's wonderful and world class. See, it's not about that how much money you make. It's about you stay with the set of people who can help you in making money. It's not a one-man show, it's a unit, right? So you need to have your unit, right? For example, you have a physical trainer, you have a mental coach. I know a lot of millionaires having mental coach, and yes, invest in the right advisor. If you pay 20 grand more to this guy, he will bring in 50 grand more if you guys can work together as a team. So thank you very much, Amrish and Samir. Beautiful session, man.
Thank you, Sunny, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. I highly appreciate. Thank you. So Amrishi, this is all. We are well on time, I think. 10:30 we started. So it's close to 12.
Yeah. So I would like to invite Alok to conclude this meeting. So Alok,
Yes, let's come into the conclusion as today is Sunday. So, but still it was a great session, and I will not invest in property anymore. So with the help of you, so I may transfer my funds to somewhere else as well. So this is my big lesson, that what I got is like, when we were, father says that you should invest in property, right? And you'll get a good return. So today there was a change in my thought as well. So I'll be in touch with you. So it was a very great session, and a first session from my FBIC as well. So let's keep this energy going, which is very important. I believe in energy converts us into a bigger platform than, connecting is a word which is used for a namesake, but the energy, what is we throw to each other, that is the real connection, what I believe in. So let's make a very healthy and good bonding with each other, and let's process forward to this epic glory of IFBIC, which will be one of the best in the world. Molly, Amresh, when it was, and even Sanjay sir, when we were discussing about it, that we had a dream to bring bigger ventures and bigger industries, and a good mark of trading should be there in India and global. So let's go ahead. With the help of you, sir, we will take our financial systems, I rather say, in a proper let's say columns, I rather say negative and positive columns, which is a part of life. So so with this, let's end this session, and thank you so much for everyone in coming and being with us, and thank you so much, and especially to Samir sir, who took an initiative of giving and
Thanks to Amresh
in such a good way that it was a clear understanding. I hope everyone too understood with our with the talks, and a very simplicity way the way you explained was highly appreciated. So thank you so much in being with us, and we're trying to deliver this kind of a session from each and every individuals, and such that we know their expert fields, and we can go ahead with this future endeavors. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alokji. Thank you so much for the kind words, and thank you, Amreshji, and thank you audience for taking time and attending this session. Especially Molly ma'am, I think it's almost close to half midnight in US.
11 o'clock.
Thanks.
Teamwork.
Teamwork. Thank you. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone. On next Sunday, we will be having our next speaker. So we will finalize our next speaker by tomorrow itself. And kindly support us, kindly support our family. This is not an individual support. Support everyone so that we should grow. And if we will grow, this network will grow, you will grow, I will grow, and everyone will grow. And that is the mission and the vision of the IFBIC, to create employment for each and everyone. So thank you, Sanjay sir. Thank you every member, Paddy, Molly, Manish Agrawal sir, Gagan Kohli sir, Dipti Kataria ma'am, Aswini, Soni sir, Albert Y. Jacharya, Savita ma'am, Sarvanand sir, Alok, Samir Kaila sir, and others members, Vrinder Mohan sir, Ujjwal Bhattacharya sir, Sunny Sharma sir, everyone. Thank you everyone for joining this meeting, and hope you learned a lot. You took a lesson from this. And Samir sir, mark my word, you are definitely going to have a new members in your family, and IFBIC and DhanCreators will grow together. That's a fun investment we have done today.
Fantastic, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for your support, Amreshji. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.